als potential profit. Switch referees. Yeah, any fixed referee right now, but structurally it's.
Yeah, then you get
desperate.
I guess.
What?
I
Yeah,
can't
now I
baby-
babysit you.
I can't see you
We
babysitting
didn't know
anyone.
who was babysitting who. But we had to
No, I remember this one time. We had Jacob for like an evening or something. And,
Ooh, yeah, nothing.
You know about it?
Look at my kid. Come on, kid.
Okay. First, I was wondering if you could just describe to me what it was like to be black in the 40s and 50s.
Well, that's a very good question. Let's go further than that. You know, being black in the South, you really didn't have that much to do as far as sports. We had to play within ourselves. When I said that is, when I by ourselves, we couldn't play with black and white in the South. In the early 50s, we had to play among ourselves in high schools. Programs now they have changed tremendous now, but. To describe that, we had our own thing. We went to our own school. We had our own programs, bands. We played semi-pro ball in our own district. We didn't travel that much between whites and blacks in my time.
So, going a little further, you were in the Negro League, right?
Well, I was when I was 14, I was playing professional ball. I didn't go to, I went to high school, but I didn't play sports my last 2 years in high school. So when I was 14, I was playing professional ball in the Negro League you're talking about. But before I got there, I was playing semi-pro, like I was 10, 11. I was playing with 16-year-old guys. I was very fortunate, let's put it that way, to be able to play with all the guys and participate with all the guys and play good. So when I was, like I said, 14, they looked at me and I could only play on weekends and until my school was out, which was like in May. I couldn't travel with the team, so it was fun for me, first 2 or 3 years. You didn't have his own?
I do.
We'll have it on the camera.
Okay, so you weren't in the Negro Leagues for very long.
3 years.
3 years.
3 years. I was 14, so you couldn't come into the majors until your class graduated.
Jane Bjorn Shapiro, please call 520. Jane Bjorn Shapiro, 520.
My class graduated. I came into the majors May 29th, 1950, and that's when I left school. I played that many years.
So describe what the major leagues were like.
Well, see, excuse me, you're moving too fast. In order to see what the major league was like, you had to go through a minor league. Today, when I came along, we had a system. You had to go through B-ball, you had to go to AAA, and then you had to come to the majors. They signed me in 1950. I had to go to Trenton, New Jersey, which was B-ball. I played there. It was like, Little League because I could play, because I've been playing with men's all my life at that particular time. But when I left Trenton, I went to Minneapolis. I stayed there for a month, and then I came to the Giants. It was no different at that time because we couldn't stay with the guys. We had to stay in different hotels, which didn't bother me because I was programmed to do those things when I came. But when you're the star of the ball club, you look to get all the benefits from the club, which at that time, it wasn't the club so much as the hotels and different other things.
Okay. So, that's outside of playing. While you were playing in the games, was there prejudice from the umpires and coaches or other players?
No. It wasn't that much in so much when I came in the game itself. But I'm talking about the cities. Like, I'll give you an example. Chicago, which is a very open city, we couldn't stay with the club there. We had to stay on the south side. St. Louis, we couldn't stay with the club. Cincinnati, we couldn't stay with the club. So it was about 3 or 4 cities that we couldn't stay with the club. Philadelphia, we did. Brooklyn, we just went over and played and come back. We only had 8 teams in the league then, I think, at one time. So it was... You're so young, you have no idea what the strain that we had, coming up into the majors that we had to go through to play professional ball.
Because you were such a great ball player on the Giants, and did other people just, I don't know, they looked up to you, I'm sure, but, I mean, were you...
Well, with me, that's not the way it was. I always played myself down, which I tried to. It's like, for instance, the 25th man on a ball club, he's always the guy that people don't look at to be a star. When I did something, whatever, if I got $100, I went on a radio show, I try to give that 25th guy the $100, 24th guy, 26th, the third guy, all the way down, because we always wanted to make the guy feel comfortable. I'm talking about the 25th, the 24th, 25th guy around there. The 1 to 15, they got something a little bit. But the guys on the bench a lot of times didn't get anything, so I was the type of guy, whatever I got, I just gave it to them.
So going back to Jackie Robinson, and there was 4 other black players before you? 5?
It might have been 5. Jackie came in 1947. Larry Doby came with Cleveland 48, and I think Campanella and Newcomb and Joe Black either came in 49 or 50. Around that area. Joe Black might have came in 49 because he was a rookie of the year. One of those years, he might have been 50. I don't know for sure. Got to do a little research on that.
So do you think that they helped your career?
Very much so, because let's put it this way. If Jackie hadn't came along in 47 and kept his mouth closed for like a year or so, I don't think I would have been in the majors, because blacks probably wouldn't participate in the majors the way they are now. I think he was the key for me coming into the major league, because he went through so much more than I, because I was in the first interstate league, we call it B-ball. And it was the same situation. I was there by myself. I had no friends whatsoever. I had to travel by myself, and it was the same thing, but not on a higher level. It was a lower level, but similar.
Okay. So do you think that blacks in sports still have the same effect on America now as they did then?
Say that again, because you see, we're talking 2 different things. Today, you don't pick out a black, so he's got the most whatever in sports. You just say, hey, that guy is a sport player. You don't say black and white, because they have changed tremendous in the last 20 or 30 years. You don't even worry about it. You just go out and do your job now. It's a whole lot of different between my time and to time today. You know, when you say, well, do the blacks have a lot of inspiration on the kids? I would say that is a combination, because if you talk about a black, you can talk about a white. You can pick out a player that you like, and you can say, hey, this is my idol. My idol was a white guy, which was Joe DiMaggio. When I was coming along, I had 3. I had Ted Williams, I had Stan Musial, I had Joe DiMaggio. I had to pick one that I would enjoy, which I picked Joe, because Joe could do all the things that the other guys couldn't do. He was the most complete player.
Okay. So is there still prejudice in baseball?
I don't think so. The way I look, this money is going around, I don't think so. I have to say, wait a minute, let's back up here. I think if you can play today, you can make money. It doesn't really matter what color you are. The owners, the players, the people that are surrounding the players don't allow that. You know, I'm sure that is something around there. You know, one guy may be black, he may hit home runs, but he won't be white. So, well, there is prejudice sometime among themselves, but it's not the way I had it when I came along. You know, we knew what we was going up against. Today, you may not know. You may have one guy that may be a bad guy.
Yeah. Did you know Jackie Robinson at all?
I knew Jackie, and I didn't know Jackie. Jackie played for the Brooklyn Dodgers. I played for the Giants, and the time I was coming along, you didn't bother with the other club. You wanted to fight them. Yeah, we didn't fight, but we used to knock them down. They knocked us down. Jackie was a very, very intelligent man. He was a very knowledgeable of the game of baseball. Actually, he had to be, because I understand through people that seen Jackie play, and Mr. Branks Rickett picked him for 2 things, for education and the knowledge of baseball, you know, and that's what it's all about today, I think.
My dad told me a couple stories about just things that happened, like at a golf course.
Say it. Go ahead.
I can't remember what it was. What was it?
Jump in, Dad.
Something I remember when growing up, reading in the paper how you were in a golf locker room and somebody walked up to you and asked.
Oh, yeah. That was in Sheridan Heights, right down here where I'm in now. So I'm one of the first blacks to come into California in a golf course. I went into the clubhouse, and a gentleman walked in. I was just sitting there, and he says, "Hey, boy, would you shine my shoes?" Yes, sir. I shined his shoes, and I put them back down there. Now I go to the tee. The same guy shined his shoes. Here he comes. We caught eye. And he was so embarrassed, the guy put his clubs down, he walked and got in his car. This is in Sheridan Heights. That's when I first came to be into a golf course. That's a true story, yes. Yeah, that's a true story. You got all that right now? Now you don't have, you got more than that.
You answered lots of them. 3 questions, one answer.
Is that right?
What is the role of sports in today's society?
Let's say that again.
The role of sports in today's society. Is it important? Is it overrated? Or is baseball really America's pastime and it keeps America together?
I don't think baseball is overrated. I think they play the same game. They may not have the same quality of players all the way around. When I said that is that you're talking about minor league. Okay, when I came along, we could reach down and pick up a minor league player, and he could fit in with our crowd. Today, you might not be able to do that. The kids seem to be coming out of college into the majors more so than when I played. When you came out of college, you had to go through the system. And the system was B-ball, A-ball, AAA, and then you come to the majors. But that's not the way it is. You get what we call on-the-job training now. You take the kids that we have, Matt William and Will Clark, they came right out of college, right into the majors, taking them 2 or 3 years to catch up to all the things they was talking about in college. So they didn't have a lot of, minor league training like we did.
So is sports, just all sports, football, baseball, anything, like really important in today's society and everything?
I would like to say no. I think education is. I think education is the key to any young kid that's coming along. The reason for that is that 2 things. Is that 1, if you have education, you don't lose that in your mind. 2, if you get hurt and you have to fall back on something, education stays there, where sports sometimes leave you. Now, it can go the other way because most kids say, hey, I want to play sports. But the schools now are beginning to say, okay, you have to go to school in order to play sport, which is very good for the kid. He may not realize that, but it's good for the kid.
Okay. Any question? Do you have a question, Chris?
Yeah, so when I leave.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think that the college ball, I guess in the old days when you were coming up, players came in like out of high school or even earlier, and so you're talking about the minor league system, they would go into the minor league system. Do you think college ball takes up some of the slack the minor league system used to?
I don't think so.
Not the same.
First of all, you're talking, let's talk about college. College, you have the same kind of system as you have in the majors. Everything is done for you
Oh, I see.
in the college level. But it may not be on the baseball level. You got new uniforms, you got everybody teaching you this and teaching you that. But when you go into the minor league, you have to do things for yourself. On your own. You got, sometimes you may have to stay in strange hotels, you may have to stay in strange places where you don't like to go. But in college, you play in college teams.
Yeah.
You stand on campus all the time. So it's just about the same in college as in the majors, but on a different level, So, they had it pretty good in college. I think.
Taken care of.
Oh, yeah, they take care of very much.
Where'd the say hey come from? You probably answered that a million times.
Well, say hey came from when I came to New York in '51, and I didn't know all the guys' names there, so I just started saying say hey, and I was hitting a lot of home runs, and you have to have a nickname in baseball, and they just gave me the say hey kid, and it just stuck with me all along.
You caught that ball right there.
Which one?
See?
That was 1954.
Catch.
In 1954 against Cleveland, yeah.
What did you feel like after you got that? When you just,
What did I feel like?
yeah.
You don't feel nothing when you play. You're playing the game. You know, you worry about when I'm catching this ball now, and I know you said, well, how can you think about all this? When I'm catching this ball, I'm not worrying about catching the ball. I'm worrying about the two guys that was on base. What am I going to do with this ball when I get it? And what I did was is throw it to second. Only one guy advanced. That's the key to that catch right there. Now, the guy on second should have been able to score if he tagged up. But he was round third going home. So he had to backtrack to second. I was told, because I couldn't see all this. You know, I don't know about it. But he had to backtrack to second and then go back to third, which is Larry Doby.
Do you think that the players of the past, like well, the players that you played with, had more skill or were better? I don't know.
That's debatable. Yeah, I could say yes. The younger generation could say no. They have their own guys. I would like to stay out of that because we have different areas and different time zones that today you wouldn't pick one of those guys. You'd pick a Conseco. I'm just giving you, who would you pick?
Well, I don't know. It seems to me that
You haven't seen them play, so how can you pick them?
that's the problem. But it seems to me that they have more personality to them. They're more all the way through players than
Well,
players
you're
now.
looking at a few there. So you're talking about the Babe, which was a home run hitter. He brought home run in the game. You're talking about Joe, which was complete all-around ball player. I like to throw myself in, which is most, around complete. You're talking about Roy Campanella, which at one time was the best catcher. It looks like looks like Yogi's behind him, but I don't know. Then you're talking about that's a picture right there. Roger Maris died with leukemia or I guess cancer. Then you got Mick and I. We came at the same time, same age, so there's a lot of history in this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Now those old guys up there, I don't know who they are.
1900 New York Giants.
1900, see, I wasn't here then. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't talk about them.
Yeah.
Like you can't talk about those guys there. You can talk about the Conseco, the Will Clark, the Mitchells, the McGuire. You can talk about the guys you see today,
Yeah.
and you can compare for yourself. Me, I don't do that because it's not right to the area that these guys are coming along with.
So you say that was you were just playing the game, but how about this picture right here,
Which
right
one?
before your first at bat?
That was Jackie Robinson.
Second row? Well, sorry about that.
Which one?
It's the one in the gold frame.
Right here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Jackie. That's me. That's me right there. That's 1951. No, yeah, 51. Mick and I, first time meeting that thing. This picture right here. And there's the two brothers. See that brother
Yeah.
there? Shapiro and what was that other guy?
Cerrone.
Rick Cerrone. Yeah, they look alike, don't they? What happened to your mustache?
I got tired of looking like Rick Cerrone. Having to answer his mail all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a good event for me. This is the playoff.
89.
89 playoff, and see, we hadn't had that for quite a while. That's the history. All these are history-making things here.
You were still making those catches at the end of your career, though. I remember when you went over the top of Bobby Bonds to make that catch against the Cyclone fence in the right field.
Oh, that was out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was out here. Mm.
So that's pretty much all the questions I had. If there's any stories that you remember, that you
Stories?
want to tell.
I can't tell the stories what I remember, man. No. So, were you writing for your school paper or something?
Well, this is for history. We're going to edit this and we're going to make a videotape.
A videotape?
It's for History Day.
Can't sell it, though.
I wasn't going to sell it. I was going to keep it.
Yeah, because then you owe me royalties.
They, you got a few things. Would you mind signing a few things for me?
Yeah, you got what you got? You bring a ball?
Ready? Jacob's still working.
Jacob, he wants us to go, and you can do that outside.
Oh, I see.
Great call.
Oh!
Just right, go sign. See down below.
Okay. Consider it done.
I would have to laugh.
And typically, yeah, what you're saying is correct. 3/4 inch, 1 inch, quality of the tape gets better.
Yeah, so you can put it on TV for broadcast quality. What we have here is this is a 3/4 inch editing system with an A and a B roll and a source tape. We have some digital video effects, so you can flip the picture around. Computerized edit controller, so it's all done by numbers. All your edit points, in points and out points, can be done by computer. We also have satellite dishes here, and we monitor them on the satellite panel.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And then this patch panel is connects all the video systems in the entire ballpark. So this is where they select the shots that they're showing during the time. Yeah, this is just for pre-production.
Oh, this is for everything else?
Yeah, when we do it on for a regular game, and sometimes, you know, when you come out for a game, I'll take you through the TV truck. We have a truck that has all the cameras and a bigger, much bigger control room than this.
Hi, this is Jerry.
This guy's our editor, so I'd have him try to tell you more detail what because I don't know anything. This is our audio room, and so when we do voiceovers and things like that, it's there. In here, a commercial or a public service announcement, we'll put some uniforms in there and have them sit here and use these lockers as a stage area. It's sort of a mess right now, but and then we have another little offline editing system right here, which is here we can monitor what's going on the scoreboard, the Jumbotron board, what goes on the TV truck, satellite, and what's... Yeah, because we do a lot of, you know, commercial things in here. Provides in here and all the historical tapes. Feature tapes. Oh God, we've got hundreds of hours worth of main stuff. We have all the historical stuff on the Giants and most of the other teams too.
Do you keep backup copies of these off the site?
No, some things we do.
How you doing?
That's okay.
Oh, just cool. That's cool. Jeff. Jeff.
This is a sink.
And it
Is
goes
that
up
candlestick
here.
from?
We're way down to the clubhouse now. Anyway, go up to the press box.
I don't care. Ooh, who's sure?
This is where Dwayne Kuiper and Joe Morgan. Well, I'll show you what they said down here.
Just shot of the field.
Okay. Sure. Thanks. Right here where the TV announcer sit. Special.
They want to run you over.
He knows. He knows you're down here.
Hey. Come on, hop the fence.
Okay. Off the fence. Okay, Chris, hop the fence.
There's a path here and everything. Pretty awesome, eh, Mark? Your brother's up in a little treehouse platform deal. There's my shoe.
Bridge. You can barely see that bridge over there. Yeah. Center Trail right through there. Right at Angel Island. Across the river.
I clips big time.
Did you ever go to Angel Island? Where is it?
Behind that
What?
big thing. Coit Tower. Coit Tower, turn around.
Oh. The drug dealer's car. The drug dealers. You make the call. Fitness court. Imagine that. This is the Embarcadero. Because I'm recording over the stuff that we recorded.
Why?
Because it's bad. No.
Guys, I went everywhere.
They didn't have any?
They have nothing. They've got, you know you're in a recession because there's no inventory.
Guys, what did I do when I walked in here? Where did it?
What are you missing?
The little piece of blue paper. And it has a phone number on it, and I need it right now.
You walked in here real fast, you went,
Yeah, I know.
said, are you back? You said, yeah, you went over to there, to that side of the room. There it is. I told you I found it for you.
How I'm supposed to play softball right now.
Are you going to play softball right now?
Attempt it.
Guys?
I'll see you.
I'm recording over a good show.
Bye.
Mr. Moore, we recorded a good show on here.
They have some stuff in here still, so.
Welcome back.
I hope you at least left my part on there.
A good show by Seth and Matt.
And Jacob.
All right, guys, listen up. Is your show done? Except for...
Just dubbing.
Oh, there's a winner's snap.
You got no microphones anywhere. Seth's got a microphone.
Except it's
He
way
lives way the hell out in
Citrus Heights.
Citrus Heights. I
That
said help.
microphone, I've got a microphone,
I was at Helk.
but that microphone's broken. Somebody break that microphone.
All right. Jacob,
We
look.
can't get that microphone to work, can we?
Look, Jacob. Look what I made.
And I think they did it right there.
There's more. Look what I made.
Trash that. What does that microphone cost? $25. Gentlemen,
What?
That's us.
Seth's okay. He's got a mic. I got a mic.
Just got it clean, though.
Is that a mic?
But I don't have an adapter that'll take me down to a mini. Do it. We've got to go to a mini to get into the camp. Now, I think they
That's four.
Seth, I'll get you.
That was pretty weird.
Watch.
We must do paper airplanes in
Yep.
action. Ow! Hit me right in the boob, man.
Wait.
Just take a look around the room here and see what we got to see. There's oh, Matt, get out of here. There's George Washington. More silly graphs. The beautiful timeline.
Mountain spray cleaner.
Matt, we're gonna have to take a commercial break while Matt gets his butt kicked. Hold on there, fellas.